Oh, hello, boys and girls. Jonathan Mercado with Bob. You're not
Ethan,
Bob.
no, I'm not.
You're not Bob. You're not.
Bobby, I mean, I don't really look like Bob.
Well, you're not of the Spanish descent either. Bobby talk like this. He shakes his hands. He does these, a lot of these, and oh my goodness. But anyways, good to have Ethan here. He's actually one of our buyers here at Go Fast Solutions. Today, Bobby's on a business trip, so he's taking over for Bob right now.
Gotta sub in sometimes, you know?
Yes, sir. Hey, so now you know who buys this stuff. So if we run out of goods, scream at this guy. Sorry. But real quick, let's get to the house cleaning stuff. So we currently still have the Alpine Sounds of Summer deal going on right now. Get a hold of your sales rep. Crazy amounts of deals going on with speakers, amps, woofers, boxes, etc. through Alpine. So if you guys are looking for deals or wanting to are a direct dealer or are an SRP account or want to learn how to become an SRP account, give us a call. We'll get you hooked up and hopefully get you going with some Alpine goodies.
Absolutely.
So you do have to be either a direct dealer or an SRP account in order to purchase Alpine through us. So make sure you get a hold of your sales rep and ask them, how do I become an SRP account? We got some crazy deals on Alpine right now. Now, there is a competition going on between Ethan, Joe, which you saw on a previous episode, and also Andrew on some product lines that we have talked about. So Joe, last week, we spoke about Little Trees and how we have that buy 10, get one free at $20 on the vent cents. Make sure we still have that deal going on. Make sure you get a hold of your sales rep. It's a great add-on sale to every store. I've said it a million times. You may not carry Little Trees, but I guarantee you Walmart, Target, Best Buy, PC Richards, Advance Auto, etc., etc., etc. Car stores, they have them in stock and they're selling a ton of them. So why not get some of that? It's low dollar value, but if you get a whole flow of things going on, it could be big dollar value in just little dollar sales. You buy 10 for $20, you get one free. I don't know about you, but that's a no-brainer if you want extra cash.
Yep.
So it's also good promotional stuff so that if you do a big job, you just throw a couple in the vehicle, makes people think that, hey, I appreciate the business. Here's a couple of Little Trees for inside the car. Cost me pennies on the dollar.
It's a nice little gift.
Yeah, little add-on gift. So do it. Make sure you call your sales rep because that deal is almost out. Next deal that I want to talk about is Ethan is actually doing this deal, and this is going to be Cicada Audio. Ethan, you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, so like we mentioned last time I was on the live, guys, we've been doing this competition, and I brought up that there was a little bit of promo competition for a swag pack to enter to win a swag pack. I'm just featuring a couple items that we do have in stock here at Go Fast that, if you're doing a job, check out the CHX 654s. They are waterproof. They got the horn tweeter in the middle, super beautiful design, nice, good, solid weight to them. And honestly, these things bang. I've heard them in person. They really are nice.
Not only have people been using those on motorcycles like Harley Davidsons, they're using them on Rikers, slingshots, side-by-sides. And now I'm starting to see a lot of guys trickle down to automotive. So cars, trucks, they're using these because the sound quality that comes out of these speakers will surely impress you guys. It's not just like a pro audio sound. This is more of a high-quality, high-fidelity sound. So make sure you get a hold of your sales rep on that.
Absolutely. To Johnny's point, guys, remember, when you're doing motorcycle audio, you're fighting a lot of baffle air noise. You got to make sure these things are crystal clear and loud. So these are some high quality speakers. And along with that, the amps too. This is an FLX 1000.4 4-channel amp. Look how small it is. It's only a few inches long, super lightweight. You could put this almost anywhere on a bike. Very compact, and you could do vertical mount as well as horizontal mount. Brackets available as well too. Don't sleep on this stuff.
So just to give you some specs on this amplifier, at 4 ohms, this is RMS power at 14.4. It did 170 watt RMS per channel. At 2 ohms, 250 watts RMS per channel. Now here's the meat and potatoes on that small amplifier. Bridged. At 4 ohms bridge, it did 500 watts RMS, guys. So it's not a little, amplifier to laugh at. This puts out some serious power. So if you're into the Harley world, Harley guys all know Cicada Audio. make sure you talk to your sales rep about getting some Cicada audio products in stock. We have all the backbone harnesses, all the amp kits from Cicada, the grills, the tweeters, the speakers, the amp racks, etc. You name it.
Down to literally, if you're doing a lid kit job, you could add on to your lid kit job some lid kit covers to make sure that when it's raining, you could throw something on top to keep them clean.
So
everything.
Not just clean, but those are also hydrophonic. So those make them waterproof.
Right.
So if you have lid kits, you ride, all of a sudden, you get caught in a rainstorm, pull these covers off, put it over the saddlebags if you have audio on there, and it'll make it watertight. So that way you don't damage the speakers or the amplifier, whatever is in your saddlebags.
Yep.
So make sure you call your sales rep. Talk about, hey, what's on deal for Cicada audio, because we have it on deal. Next thing we want to talk about is K&N. So Andrew is heading up K&N. A lot of you guys know K&N. If you aren't bringing it into your shops, shame on you. It is a very well-known name brand in the industry. Between intakes, filters, cleaning kits, oil. A lot of people don't know that K&N makes oil, but they do make oil. They also make oil filters. And cabin filters. So for all the people that want some of the best filtration in their vehicles or added horsepower, let's give your sales rep a call and ask about K&N. It might be something that you'll be surprised if you add a few pieces in your shop. It now diversifies you into different categories. It was funny because we're on a Facebook Live right now, but I saw on one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, somebody asking what else can they add onto their shops to make more money. Because right now, and he said it so quote with air quotations, it is slow, very, very slow. What else can they add? Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if you aren't diversifying, if you aren't thinking outside the box, if you are just relying on car audio, you're being a one-trick pony. Shame on you. It's called diversification. The shops that diversify are the shops that are busy. The shops that not only do car audio, but do window tint. And with window tint comes LED headlights. With LED headlights comes windshield skin for exotic vehicles and even cars. We've spoken about, things you can add on to your shops. K&N is another one. It's cash and carry stuff. When have you seen anybody return an air filter?
Never.
Or an intake? Never. Who has returned a little tree? Never.
You can't.
Well, you smell, I don't like the way the watermelon smells, I want to return this. No, you've never seen anybody return that. That's consumable goods which come in and out just as quick and turns it into cash. Cicada audio. I don't think I've heard one Harley guy complain about the audio that they did aftermarket in their bikes. Between Cicada audio, you've got Diamond Audio, you've got so many different brands. Kenwood has a bike line. Memphis has drop-in bike lines. I've never ever in a million years have heard anybody complain about their bike audio aftermarket. So this is all stuff that you got to think outside the box. If you're not doing bikes, if you're not doing slingshots, you're not doing, little trees, you're not doing air fresheners, you're not doing intakes, you're not doing spark plugs, you're not selling e-bikes, shame on you, because you guys are the ones that are asking, well, what else can I do to diversify? Guys, get out of your normal. It is not the typical 12-volt norm right now. We have to think outside the box. Think about added revenues into your business. This is why you get close to a distributor partner. Distributors are here to help you guys out for your just-in-time purchases, so that way you're not overstocking your shops. Also giving you products like a Limitless, a Cicada, K&N, Little Trees, e-bikes. I could go on and on. Home products. Like home theater, home projectors, home TVs. That's all stuff you can add into your shops that can add revenue.
I'd say it's a good way to put it and summarize it would be, we allow you to diversify without having to put the income on your shelves.
Exactly.
So
listen, I was a long time standing retailer. A lot of you watching this, if you don't know my history, I was at a retail store, very high-paced retail store. At one point, we had 30 employees. Multi-million dollar shop. And we did everything. And our best friends, believe it or not, was my local distributor at that time was MRI. And let me tell you, Dave Prince, who is the owner of GoFast, was actually my sales rep. It's hilarious how this all happens. He was my sales rep. And, you know, his mind of thinking and the way that it is here also, the GoFast culture is, don't be a one-trick pony. Always think outside the box. Get out of your comfort zone. Stop doing what every other shop does. What makes you special? If you're like every other shop that they can travel 5 minutes, 2 minutes, or even next door and buy the same equipment, and you guys are getting into a price match, you know, price beating each other up, what are you doing different? You're not. You're just you're kicking the can down the road and hoping that it turns into something.
Right.
Guys, diversification. Call your sales rep. Get friendly with your sales rep. You know, and I'm talking about your GoFast sales rep, your distributor sales rep, you know, our EDA partners. We have a ton of lines. We're here to help you guys out. We're here to make you guys money, and it's just in time. So I'll get off the soapbox because I got to talk about some other things. So next thing we want to talk about is upcoming events, guys. Once again, this comes with the diversification. So Ethan, you want to hold this up? So we have a training. You got to hold it up a little higher.
A little higher?
Yeah, there you go. So we have a training from Windshield Skin coming up. So you want to make more cash, you want to diversify. July 10th, there's going to be a Google Meet from 5:30 to 6:30 talking about how to sell windshield skin. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it's expensive to replace a windshield. They're not replacing an exotic car's windshield, your insurance is. No, they're not. They're not going to replace a Lamborghinis or Ferraris or a Porsche 911. They're not going to replace a Lotus Elise. They're not going to replace, you know, cars that you see daily outside your shops. You know, they're not going to replace. They're not going to replace a whole Tesla front windshield. They're not doing it, guys, because it's very, very expensive for those windshields. A Lamborghini Huracan windshield, no BS, cost about $15,000 to replace. I don't think your insurance will be like, hey, yeah, you know, we'll cover it, no problem, it's good. No, so what you do is you go on to training, you diversify. This goes with that statement I just said earlier. Windshield skin, all right? You add an extra layer of protectant in the front so it doesn't get nicked, doesn't get chipped, doesn't destroy the windshield. It takes minutes to put it on. You can learn how to do this very, very quickly. That webinar is literally going to probably show you a video of them installing it. Bree, that works at Windshield Skin, never installed one of these in her life. 15 minutes of just trying to install it. She installed it, learned it herself. It's very, very easy to do, and it's added revenue. $400, $500, $600+ depending on the vehicle you would charge for this type of stuff. It's a no-brainer, guys. Diversify. If you're doing tint, why aren't you doing windshields?
Same application.
You know what I mean? You guys all rely on, if you're darkening the front windshields on newer vehicles, why not just add a layer of protecting to that front windshield? Because replacing that windshield is A, very costly. B, even if your insurance covers it, and I'm going to tell you my nightmare story, my F-150, they replaced my windshield. They accidentally dropped the windshield on my hood, fender, bumper. Cost over $5,000 in damages.
How long was your truck in the shop for after that?
It was literally almost about close to a month, I want to say. It was at the shop getting repaired because aluminum body. You know what I mean? Not a lot of shops work with aluminum body. B, you know, it's unfortunately parts are getting back ordered left and right. Getting the fender and the hood was almost impossible to get. And you can't just fix aluminum. You can't just put Bondo on it. You can't just, you know, throw a coat of paint in there, call it a day. You literally need to replace it. So guys, if you're thinking about diversification, call your sales rep. Join this Windshield Skin training July 10th from 5:30 to 6:30. It's a free training. Learn about adding, you know, new product lines into your shops and learn about adding this into your lineup. It's very easy to do. Now, another training that's coming up that's a really cool training, and we're going to have it in 2 locations. So it's going to be a Sony training, so save the date. A lot of you guys know Chris Beulah. He's been a Sony trainer forever. He's going to come down. So we're going to have it here at the Go Fast headquarters in Middletown from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. There will be food, guys.
Oh,
So
yeah.
don't think that there's not going to be any food for you guys. It's going to be on July 23rd. Once again, July 23rd here in Middletown, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Get trained by the one of the best out there in the industry, Chris Biola. He's going to talk about all the product line, do a little bit of A/B comparison, and really get trained on Sony, the GS line and the ES line, which a lot of you guys that do carry that know how much money you can make with all that stuff. The second training is going to be the next day, and it's going to be July 24th at Dave and Buster's in Natick, Mass, from 6 to 9.
I like that.
So it's actually at Dave and Buster's. You'll get trained. You're gonna go get to play some games and eat some food and stuff like that. I've been to a couple of trainings at Dave and Buster's. Very informative, very well attended, and also very, very interesting to see that the trainers get to be there. You get to talk and spend some time with the trainers. If you have Sony questions, guys, I'm telling you right now, please make sure to ask not their sales rep, but ask the trainer at the training. So once again, July 23rd here at Go Fast in Middletown, Connecticut.
Write it down. You're going to forget
6
it.
p.m. to 9 p.m. July 24th, Dave and Buster's, Natick, Massachusetts, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the 24th. Make sure you don't miss either of those trainings. Lots of information will be spoken about on those days.
Yep.
Now, what we want to talk about is, which we always talk about, brand of the week. And this week, brand of the week is Limitless batteries. If you're in the Harley world, you're in the pro audio world, you're in any type of audio 12 volt that requires big power from your drainage from your batteries, give Limitless a try. Lithium batteries has come a very long way. It really has. A, they're light. B, they handle some crazy amounts of power. And C, they're actually not that expensive as you think it is. Would you rather buy a brand A, which really has no no customer support, no backing on it, not a known name? Or would you go to a brand that's been around forever, number one in Harley batteries? It really is. I went to a couple of actual Harley dealerships, and believe it or not, when I told them about Limitless battery, they wanted that lineup. They wanted to bring it into their shops because it is a very, very well-known brand. Limitless makes a couple of different batteries. We only got a few up here that I'll talk about, but they do make a whole lineup of batteries. So they have the Nano OEM Elite, which you're seeing here. And practically what this is a battery replacement for Harley Davidsons. You literally just put it in, and it works well. It can work well up to 2,000 watts on there. It is a lithium battery, so you're going to get the best of both worlds. And on top of that, it includes the lithium charger. This is what a lot of lithium stuff, what a lot of people don't know is it doesn't really charge so well. It charges well in the vehicle, but it doesn't charge well when it's in dormant. So it can't drop below a 10.5 volt, or else the batteries go into a dormant state and you can't activate them again. So what they do is, when you're not using the vehicle, you just throw it on the trickle charger, and it keeps the batteries, nice and well charged. On top of that, it keeps them nice and awake. So that's the problem with lithiums. If a lot of you guys notice, whenever they fully die, there's no way of getting those batteries back up and running. There really isn't. You just have to throw it away and get a new one, or replace it, whatever the case is. Well, Limitless has done all the homework. They put the BMS technology on both the Nano OEM and the Nano HD3V3, which allows it to work with the rectifier off of Harley Davidsons. A lot of people don't understand. There's no alternator in Harley Davidsons. There's no alternator in Rikers. There's no alternators in anything that has to do with like snowmobiles and jet skis. It has it relies on a rectifier to charge the products. So with BMS technology, it's managing the power that goes into the batteries, and it's making sure it keeps it stable enough so that way it doesn't overcharge, which we all know what happens when it overcharges. It explodes. Not explodes like physically, but explodes. The battery just gets chunky. And once it gets chunky, unfortunately, there's nothing to do. You just got to throw it away and replace it. And it keeps it nice and charged. It also keeps it from going, if it goes below 10 volts, the battery goes into dormant space. So what it does is, with that BMS technology, it can wake itself up. So guys, if you want the best battery in the industry for your Harley Davidson, your Motorsports series, give Limitless a try. They also have a lineup of car batteries called the Retro 56. Yep. Retro 56 is one of the most bad ASS lineups in the product that they have for car batteries. You can use as a main battery. These are used in main batteries for Harley Davidsons, anything with a rectifier. But you can't use these on cars, unfortunately. The alternator will not charge these batteries, only a rectifier will, because it doesn't have BMS technology. But the Retro 56 is made to work with the car's alternator. Now they also have a no sodium lithium solution, which is also used as a secondary battery in vehicles, so that way you need that demand in more power. So if you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 watts, that'll help you out to keep those systems nice and powered. A lot of you guys are used to using some really, really cheap batteries, and you always call me and say, well, what battery are you using? Well, I'm using an XYZ battery. And the lights are dimming, or just dies, it doesn't work well, or the amplifiers are shutting off and turning back on. It's because you're not providing the accurate power for those amplifiers to keep going. With Limitless battery, you're guaranteed you're going to get some crazy amounts of power into those vehicles, and you're also going to get the performance that it says it does. Limitless is a small company. We've sold out every time they've come in. They have sold out every time that they get them in. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a Harley Davidson, you have any type of power sports, or even a vehicle, and you're not using Limitless, shame on you. Give your sales rep a call, because right now we do have a deal on Limitless batteries. So that way we can, let you know what the deal is, and get you some Limitless on your shelves. One of the best batteries, for some of the best shops out there. They use it, and there's a reason that they use it. Absolutely. So, and it is one of the most requested. Like I said, I went to Harley Davidson dealerships. They knew who Limitless was. They didn't have a solution, a source for Limitless. Now they do. So, guys, if you don't have a source for Limitless, give your Go Fast sales rep a call. We'll take good care of you. And thank you and shout out to Limitless for being a platinum sponsor at the Mobile Expo this year, and also hosting that badass party at Atlantic City. That was awesome. They hosted it last year, and it was crowded. So, thank you, Limitless, for being such a great partner, and hopefully we'll get some more going to your shops that you need. All right, guys. Well, that concludes our Facebook Live. Thank you, Ethan, for joining in. Bobby, enjoy your vacation.
We'll see you soon, Bobby.
We'll see you soon. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Thank you. Have a good day.